Hi, it's Miss Kara. I'm going to read you Caps for Sale. It's a really fun story about a peddler, some monkeys, and their monkey business. Um, it's by Esphyr Binka, and I think you're going to like it. It was given to me by my friend Nicole a long time ago. Caps for Sale. While we're reading the book, I want you to think about the patterns of the words and the patterns that you can make with his caps that he likes to wear on his head. Once there was a peddler who sold caps, but he was not like an ordinary peddler, carrying his wares on his back. He carried them on the top of his head. First, he had his own checkered cap, then a bunch of gray caps, then a bunch of brown caps, then a bunch of blue caps, and on the very top, a bunch of red caps. He walked up and down the streets, holding himself very straight so as not to upset his caps. And as he went along, he called, "Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap." You will hear that pattern, those words, a couple of times in this book. One morning, he couldn't sell any caps. He walked up the street and he walked down the street, calling, "Caps for sale, 50 cents a cap." But nobody wanted any caps that morning. Nobody even wanted a red cap. He began to feel very hungry, but he had no money for lunch. "I think I'll go for a walk in the country," said he, and he walked out of town slowly, so as not to upset his caps. He walked for a long time until he came to a great big tree. "This is a nice place for a rest," thought he, and he sat down very slowly under the tree, and he leaned back little by little against the tree trunk so as not to disturb the caps on his head. Then he put up his hand to feel that they were straight. First his own checkered cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, and then the red caps on the very top. They were all there. So he went to sleep, and he slept for a long time. When he woke up, he was refreshed and rested. But before standing up, he felt with his hands to make sure his caps were in the right place. All he felt was his own checkered cap. He looked to the right of him, no caps. He looked to the left of him, no caps. He looked in back of him, no caps. He looked behind the tree, no caps. Then he looked up into the tree, and what do you think he saw? On every branch sat a monkey, and every monkey was a gray or a brown or a blue or a red cap. The peddler looked at the monkeys, and the monkeys looked at the peddler. He didn't know what to do. Finally, he spoke to them. "You monkeys, you," he said, shaking his finger at them. "You give me back my caps." But the monkeys only shook their fingers back at him and said, "Tz, tz, tz." This made the peddler angry, so he shook both hands and at him and said, "You monkeys, you give me back my caps." But the monkeys only shook both their hands back at him and said, "Tz, tz, tz." Now he felt quite angry. He stamped his foot and he said, "You monkeys, you better give me back my caps." But the monkeys only stamped their foot back at him and said, "Tz, tz, tz." Do you see the pattern here? By this time, the peddler was very, very angry. He stamped both of his feet and shouted, "You monkeys, you must give me back my caps." But the monkeys only stamped both their feet back at him and said, "Tz, tz, tz." At last, he became so angry that he pulled off his own cap, threw it on the ground, and began to walk away. But then each monkey pulled off his cap, And all of the gray caps and all of the brown caps and all of the blue caps and all of the red caps came flying out of the tree. So the peddler picked up his caps, put them back on his head. First his own checkered cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, and then the blue caps, and then the red caps on the very top. And slowly, slowly, he walked back to town, calling, "Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap." So there are a couple of patterns in here I want you to notice. It's the caps for sale, but then also, whenever they talk about all of the caps, they always talk about them in this order. His own checkered cap, the gray caps, the brown caps, the blue caps, and the red caps at the very top, creating a pattern inside the book. Also, the pattern with the monkeys, where the peddler would say something and the monkeys would copy him and say, "Tz, tz, tz," and it kept doing that over and over again until finally the peddler throws down his cap and they copy him and hit their caps down. So that's another pattern that's in this book. So I hope you enjoyed the story. I'm going to read it again during our classes on Thursday and Friday, but I wanted you to have a chance to listen to it again, or just in case you didn't get a chance to come to the Zoom classes. I love you all and have a great day.